Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you are having a great day. In today's stories, OP's niece needs a break, so she offers her place so she can rest, but then sister-in-law calls her and says something that surprises everyone. And OP asks her boyfriend for a favor, but he refuses and she decides to teaching him a lesson, but she may have gone too far. Am I the idiot for not telling my sister-in-law that her adult daughter was with me? My 28-year-old niece, on my husband's side, who was away at college and struggling one day, called me sad, crying, and desperate. Her mom and stepdad were in Europe traveling. She was lonely and depressed. I told her she was welcome to come visit for the weekend and she was so happy to do so. I bought her a plane ticket and we picked her up from the airport. She was under pressure from her parents and school, and we just lent her a pressure-free environment, drank wine, and listened. We assessed that she was okay and there was no reason for concern. She didn't want to tell her mom she was at our house, and asked us not to either. We agreed and said it's her story to tell, but we also won't lie if asked. She is also 28, going to college out of state, as are my own kids, and I go weeks at a time without hearing from them. Her mom didn't hear from her in a day or two, so she went on to call all of her friends to find out where she was, got wind she was at our house and went off on us. Scathing barrage of text messages, berating voice messages, made us into villains. I didn't want to deal with it, so I ended up ignoring her. Was I wrong for not calling her mom and secretly telling her mom she was at my house? Am I the idiot? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the a-hole. I didn't reach out to my sister-in-law and betray my niece's request. My usher-in-law feels I was wrong and betrayed her, and I'm supposed to tell her everything about her daughter. Am I missing something? Is there like a learning disability or something involved here that I accidentally skipped over? She is 28, but still in an out-of-state college, and she's so sad that her parents are on vacation that she came crying to you about it, and after 2 days of minimal to no contact her parents threw a fit? If she is as mentally incapable and dependent as she sounds in the post, yeah, you might be the a-hole for not letting her caregivers know something was up. This, and financially dependent too. Mom and stepdad still pay for everything, despite being 28 and back in college, starts and stops. There is a wealth situation here, too, which is sort of the control narrative. Info: does your niece have a history of severe depression, disappearing, attempts to hurt herself, etc.? I appreciate that perspective and 100% agree. I'm not aware of anything in her past, but her parents also always make everything look perfect, so perhaps. I guess my gut worried about that deep down too, when she seemed hopeless. So, niece is 28 years old. Why is she in school now? Has she had emotional issues and parents are trying to support her recovery? Are you telling the whole story here? Are you just listening and providing a safe place? Or are you interfering in a medical situation? Is she mad that her daughter was with you, or is there a history of interference? Just listening, I'm unaware of any medical issues and she's a functioning adult. She had stops and starts in college, like many people do, and her parents had the means to let her finish school out of state where she started. That's not really a common scenario, but I do think that plays into parents feeling they can still control someone if they are footing the bill for them. Okay, I don't think OP is the idiot, she was just helping her niece. Since she just wanted to get away from the pressure that came from school and her parents, and that's normal. So, taking this aspect into consideration, and the fact that the niece is a 28-year-old adult, neither OP nor her husband did anything wrong here, and sister-in-law is acting like a controlling freak mom. But, I still think there's more to this story, even if OP doesn't know. So, I get that if the parents have the habit of talking to their daughter daily, and she simply stops all communication, they would be worried. I get that. Also, it's possible that, since they financially support her, this frequent contact may be a stipulation of them. And yes, there could be something more serious going on with the niece that OP doesn't know about, like something involving her physical or mental health. All this could be possible. But as far as OP knows, niece is a healthy adult, who is responsible for herself, even if she depends financially on her parents, since this doesn't mean that all her life decisions should come with her approval, at least it shouldn't, including going to visit her aunt and choosing not to tell her mother. So no, OP shouldn't have to contact her sister-in-law and tell her that her daughter was there, especially when the girl explicitly asked her not to. So, not the idiot OP, but your sister-in-law is. But still the question remains, is there something else going on? Maybe a health problem? Whether physical or psychological, that makes it necessary for her parents to always know where she is? Or is this simply the case of controlling parents who want to know everything she's doing, who she's doing it with, and they are able to maintain this control over her because they finance her? Either way, it's something that needs to be resolved between them, and nothing to do with OP. And what do you guys think of this situation? Do you think OP should have told her sister-in-law that her daughter was with her? Do you think they are just controlling parents? Or do you think there must be a reason for them to be so concerned? What would you do in OP's shoes? Don't forget to leave your thoughts down below. Now let's see what the comments suggest. Not the idiot, your sister-in-law is being controlling and ridiculous. Her lashing out at you about her 28-year-old daughter visiting you should give you a glimpse of what your niece endures from her mother. Not the idiot, I think it's odd that her parents wouldn't be appreciative that she has people to turn to when she is having a tough time. She went to family, that's pretty amazing, let them be mad all they want. And also let her know that she is welcome anytime. How great for her to have adults she can trust and wants to turn to in hard times, well done auntie. I have 2 of my own in college, albeit like 2021 ages, and I love when family steps in, when they don't want their parents. How dare you not tell me my daughter was with you? Ma'am, your daughter is almost 30. Not the idiot. Not the idiot, your niece is not just an adult, but she's almost 30, she doesn't need to tell her mom that she's doing anything, let alone visiting a family member. I can understand if this was a medical emergency, but it wasn't, sister-in-law is acting way over the top. No, and instead of being mad at you, your sister needs to reflect on her own behavior and why her daughter got to the mental space she was in. Sister needs to back off, shut her mouth and start listening to her daughter, judgment-free. And what about you guys? What did you guys think of the comments? Do you agree with them? Anything else you would advise to OP? Don't forget to leave your comments down below. Oh, and I hope you are enjoying the video so far. If so, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications to know when a new video is out. Now let's go to the next story. Am I the idiot for leaving my boyfriend behind while I drove to our workplace in my car? Last night, I, 23, female, texted and asked my boyfriend, 25, male, to come down to the basement where my office space and new futon are. He replied not and then asked me to come upstairs to go to bed. He probably wanted cuddles. But I told him it was important to me, and I wanted him to come see my new arrangement/new setup in the basement. He didn't reply to my text. So I slept downstairs on the futon. This morning, I left without him to go to work, we work at the same place. He called me and asked me if I overslept. He assumed I was still at home in the basement. I said no, I left. He was in so much shock that he kept asking me, "Did you actually leave me? You're not at work." Then I tried to tell him, "I asked you to see something that was important to me. And you ignore me." He got mad. He said he slept through his alarms. You really left me. Over that? Then I tried to tell him again, I'm mad because I said it was something important to me, but you. But before I could finish my sentence, he ended the call. How I feel about it at this moment is, if he's too lazy to drive himself, I understand. He has his own car, but if we're going to the same place, it makes sense to drive together. But missing your alarms? You're an adult. You should wake yourself up, and if you don't, you'll be late to work. That's on you. Don't rely on me to be your mommy and wake you up and wait for you to get ready. I don't know. I feel bad for hurting his feelings and literally leaving him behind. But at the same time, he's an adult who has his own car and his own job separate from mine. If he's late, that's on him. Why should I have to be late every morning because he can't wake himself up on time? Or vice versa. I don't want to make him late because of me. I felt so much better without the responsibility of taking care of him in the mornings. But now I feel bad. So, am I the a-hole for leaving my boyfriend behind while I drove to our workplace in my car? Okay, OP was upset that he ignored her, but her reaction was a little too much and unnecessary for my liking. Yes, we know he can get to work another way, but I still found OP's reaction to be extremely disproportionate to what he did, or failed to do. Is there something else going on? Is their relationship okay? Or is something else stressing OP? I think it's time for OP to look into this, so she doesn't end up sabotaging their relationship. Now let's read some comments before going to the update. Everyone sucks here. You both acted like petulant children. You are the idiot. You messed with a work routine because of a personal tiff. Don't mess around with people's work routines without telling them in advance. Everyone sucks here, because he could have taken 2 minutes to go look at the basement, but you're the bigger a-hole, because your reaction to him blowing you off was completely overblown and super petty. You're not the idiot for not wanting to be in charge of waking him up, but you are the idiot for the childishly peevish reaction to him not wanting to go down to look at your basement when he was ready to go to bed. You did this for the purpose of punishing him and not because you didn't want to be responsible for waking him up. You are the idiot. You are the idiot. You left because you didn't get your way. He didn't hop out of bed to see a room arrangement when you told him to. I'm assuming the room will look like it did last night when you get home today. So really was not urgent or an emergency. If it was so important to you, what was stopping you from walking upstairs and telling him that? The rest of the stuff you just added to justify your own actions, which were petty and in my opinion mean-spirited. You apparently have a routine in the morning, you changed it because you were mad. Holy shit, I would break up with you on the spot. What an insane overreaction to not seeing a effing futon. You are the idiot. Update. My boyfriend and I talked about it. He was not mad at me. He acknowledged it as his responsibility for waking up on time and getting himself to work. I showed him this post and all your comments, and he agreed with the comments saying the room would still be there tomorrow. It wasn't urgent. It was an overreaction to the situation. I agreed with him. I retaliated for a separate issue, in making me late, rather than communicating. He did make it to work on time for those wondering. Thank you for all your comments. For all the people saying break up, neither of us plan on breaking up over one instance. We have been together for 4 years and each of us have made mistakes or overreacted at some point. Okay, I'm glad OP and her boyfriend talked, worked this out and won't break up over this, but I still think it was an overreaction on OP's part. And what do you guys think? What would you do if you were OP? Or if you were OP's boyfriend? Leave your comments down below. And that's it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, go watch the video that is appearing on the screen right now or click on one of our playlists that are in the description to watch more videos. Until next time.